WEFM, the clean, fresh sound. Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And the time is now 8:11 here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and this is Activated Mornings. You're listening to Ari, and with me in studio is Christal and none other than Doc Thompson. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning. Good morning to you, Christal and Ari. Yes, wonderful weekend. Lots of stuff going on. Bayaboo, Barrelly, Fish Fest. Nice stuff. You know?
I didn't even know Barrel had their fish fest.
Boy, the way I found out about that was funny.
Well, I tell you something. As you know, I just got back from Jamaica. And oh boy, I tell you, it was nice standing up in front of Marley's statue and so. But I ate so much ackee and saltfish, and I had so much jerk chicken that on coming back, I couldn't make it. I had escovitch fish and doing that.
Oh.
I couldn't make it down to the Barley Fish Fest. I was full.
Yeah.
I was full for those 4 days that I was there. So I'm a happy camper. I don't know how much weight to put on, but I'm all right. I'm all right, Harry.
You like something?
Ackee and saltfish,
No?
jerk chicken.
You feel like what?
Something missing. Doc, you always go in and bring it back on for us.
I couldn't bring back any
A little patty, a little bun.
Do you know what? I gotta say this very carefully. I bought back some seeds. I love sorrel, and apparently, in Jamaica, they have a variety of sorrel seeds that bears any time of the year, not just at Christmas time.
Anytime.
Any time of the year.
We'll cut that part out of the life for your sake.
Eh?
We'll cut that part out of the life. Because
I said, no. Apparently, I was able to. I was permitted, yes.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So there was a video going around on social media over the weekend with police officers again having an issue with civilians, this time at the Massey parking lot. Now, if you're not from the Leeward side, the same way it is at Massey Arnorsville, Massey Stony Grounds, on Fridays and sometimes Saturdays, seems to be a lineman spot. And whenever there's a lineman spot, there's bound to have issues. Now, I've been told of a number of issues happening at Massey Stony Ground there. I was even told a story of an instance where a brother and sister may have gotten into an altercation and someone tried to step in, and the brother basically was stepped up to him, puffing up his chest, whatever, and the person pulled out a firearm. Now, just said that to say that a lot of nonsense be happening up Stony Ground. And I heard people talking about the video. And I had seen one of my friends post on social media that the police came and they did a roundup and they got a number of posts. And I saw there was a slight altercation, but I don't know what it is about me this weekend that I was like, that have nothing to do with me. I just kept it pushing until I saw the video where the officer ended up pulling his firearm. I think the bigger issue is there an issue, or is there now a lack of fear and respect for police officers where it could reach to the point where an officer pulls a firearm and still persons are persistent in engaging in conflict with maybe each other, even the police officers? What is going wrong here? Because we see at least on the police side that they're trying to reverse years and years of damage between the relationship between them and civilians, but on the same side, there seems to still be a lot of pushback because of that lack of respect. I know Christal saw the video. I don't think you saw the video, Doc.
No,
but what do you think about what I'm saying?
We are in a culture that lies in between. The British culture is that police don't really, the Bobby doesn't walk around with firearms as such unless there are some special circumstances.
Well, this one was in
I
what
know.
seems to be SSU uniform, the kind of
Let me tell
army.
you,
Yeah.
I lived in the United States, and I've had the police just stopping me and pull guns on me several times. It's a norm. Matter of fact, that's why you see so much, shootings and so of black individuals and so on. A black male in the United States told, if you're stopped, keep your hands on the steering wheel, don't do anything. People are listening here, so the people who are in the United States might find it strange that there's a question about pulling gun, because they would always have their gun and to protect themselves, or if they feel threatened or anything like that, and they would get away with it. I'm not sure of what the circumstances might be here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and whether these videos also have the vocals, the verbiage, and so forth in terms of what is said and what other people around are saying and things like that. Clearly, I think the police, you always have to be very careful with these situations because it goes against them. And they expect you to calm down volatile situations, domestic situations, and so where people are steamed up. And sometimes it may require that. The question is, if there is a shooting and so forth, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to lead to that. I think that's like a hall. We say, stop what you're doing and so forth. Pulling out the gun may actually be required in some situations. But I always will want to caution it. We're in that particular transition in society between what's considered in the British system, what's considered in the American system. And I think that more and more you may see things shifting over to that of the United States.
I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But I think it starts the debate on what is necessary and what is unnecessary force. And do the civilians, do the everyday Vincentian respect the police, or don't they respect the police? And I really do hope that the police are able to mend that relationship going forward. I don't know if Christal wanted to add to the topic.
I feel like I say the same thing every time these videos happen. It just seems either to be consistently terrible or like slowly getting worse and worse and worse. An officer pulls out a firearm and nobody seems to like budge or care. It's the same thing that happened at Choppins that we discussed. Officer trying to apprehend an individual and having to like fight with civilians to try to do their job. I think we're gonna get to a point where people are going to regret their actions. Unfortunately, I think when we get to that point, if we're not already there, too late shall be the cry. We should not have a society where people are let me choose my words wisely, but there should be at least a group of people or an entity or something in place to exercise some sort of, to be able to put things in order or to be able to control outrageous situations. And if that entity is not able to do it, then who else is?
I feel differently about the chopping situation, but as you said, it's something that we see happening, and I don't know, maybe somebody from the police force could shed light onto what they believe is the cause of this. We know everybody in the public already have them. Not say everybody. A lot of people in a certain class already have their perception of the police and it based on how they're treated by the police. So who knows? But before we switch topics, I just want to remind everyone that you could win your share of $50,000 in cash and prizes with Flow. Up for grabs is $1,000 cash every week, home surround system, laptops, tablets, smartphone, Bluetooth speakers, and more. You can also be the grand prize winner of a $10,000 Visa cash card. All you have to do is top up $10 or more, sign up for any new service from Flow, pay bills in full, or switch to Flow, and you too can win more. Now, if you remember, the Prime Minister had during his independence address, pointed out that the penalty for firearms and sexual offenses would be raised later in the year. And I think after that, he had pointed out that there would be regulations placed on darkening your windscreens. So far, all of these have been gazetted. They're in all of the newspapers. I'm pretty sure you can find them online. But in front of me right now, I have the changes made to the sexual offenses. So it is for the Criminal Code, the Amendment of Bill 2023, which seeks to amend Chapter... What is V133? In
Sorry?
Roman numerals, V133.
VI.
VIII.
V is 5, that's 8.
No, 8. Yes, it's 8.
That's 8, okay.
Yeah.
Chapter 8 of the Criminal Code, Chapter 171 of the Laws of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Revised Edition, 2009, published for comments. These are very interesting to me. So I'm going to read section 125, subsection 1, intercourse with a girl under 15. The existing penalty is imprisonment for 5 years. The proposed penalty is 15 years. 126, subsection 1, intercourse with a defective, imprisonment for 5 years. That is now proposed to be 15 years. 127, subsection 1, indecent assault. A, if a child is under the age of 15, to imprisonment for 5 years, proposed penalty, 10 years. B, if any of the cases, to imprisonment for 2 years, proposed penalty, 5 years. 128, indecency with a child, imprisonment for 1 year, proposed penalty, 10 years. 129, permitting girl under 15 to use premises for intercourse, imprisonment A for 14 years of if the girl is under the age of 13. That is changed or proposed to be changed to 15. B for 7 years if the girl is of or over the age of 13 and under the age of 15. That is changed to 10 years.
Permission, let me take a call because
yes.
this person was trying for a while. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Doctor, you is Bob Marley celebration you went to?
No, not at all.
Oh, yeah,
Not at all. I didn't.
Oh, okay. You just happened to be there and it was happening.
Well, he's
Okay.
Great.
So you see the Bob Marley movie while you were there?
I didn't see the Bob Marley movie, but I am going to see it,
Okay,
and I understand it's gotten good ratings. And the star, even though he's not a Jamaican, I think he's done very well.
No, do you know there's a story behind the song? I don't want to wait in vain for your love. You know there's a story behind that song. Do you know his story?
No.
Is that Bob Marley was renting this house. He was on one floor and there was a lady on the second floor. And for 2 years he was trying to pursue her and she wouldn't, give him the time of day. But later he bought the house and he became the landlord. And then she showed interest in him. And as a result, Damian Jr. Marley was born. And his mother is Miss Jamaica 1974. I forget her name. Her name doesn't come to mind right now.
Mm.
Yeah.
He was a happy camper.
That was the result of that song. Yeah. That was the...
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Take care. All right. Let's continue. So, are we going to do just the sexual offenses today, or are we going to try to squeeze in the firearms as well?
There's all three of them there, so we have to decide which one we're going to go into.
But Ari, I like what you were doing there as you read it now, because do you know, I think that a lot of people, even though they know that there's some offenses, they don't really understand it.
Yeah.
And so I Christal, even though you don't get through the firearm one and so forth, I mean, firearm's simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This and the tint is also quite simple. This one, I think, go through it.
Yes, Doc. This I think very, very important. And
this is big.
Persons usually see these things and they just scroll past them or turn the page. And then they listen to what persons say on the street, which might not be what is here.
Yeah.
There's causing or encouraging prostitution of a girl under 15. The existing penalty is imprisonment for 7 years. That has been proposed to be 15 years. Causing prostitution of a woman, imprisonment for 14 years is being changed to 15 years. Detention in a brothel, imprisonment for 14 years being changed to 15 years. Man living on the earnings of prostitution, imprisonment for 14 years, proposed 15 years. And it keeps going on with woman exercising control over a prostitute, 14, change to 15. Living on the earnings of a male prostitute, 14, change to 15. Keeping a brothel, imprisonment for 14, change to 15. Letting premises for use as a brothel, imprisonment for 7 years being changed to 10 years. Subsequent offense, 14 years being changed to 15 years. Procurement of a woman by threat, imprisonment for 2 years changed to 7 years. Procurement of a woman by false pretense to imprisonment for 2 years changed to 7 years. Administering drugs to facilitate intercourse.
This is important.
Imprisonment for 5 years now changed to 10 years.
Yeah.
And incest by a man, imprisonment for 14 years changed to 15 years. Incest by a woman, imprisonment for 7 years changed to 20 years.
And you know, incest by a woman. You know, one would not have believed that actually exists. You know,
but I think it's interesting that those carry the most amount of years here.
Incest?
The incest one, 20 years each.
Yeah.
Perhaps
Yes.
the nature of it. I don't know. I don't know why. But like what I'm thinking is maybe you have a certain expectation of family. I don't know.
It's the impact
Yeah,
on the child, the years of therapy, and so that has to take place. The others, you know,
you
from
still
a
need therapy.
prostitution. Well, okay, setting up a prostitution ring and all that kind of thing and so forth. You may say that there are some willing participants there, and so there are fines in relation to that. And clearly, some of the other ones in terms of rape and sexual molestation.
But you could have willing participants in incest.
Perhaps it's the trust.
No, you can't have willing participants in incest.
Why not?
In terms of when you're talking about people of a particular age, the age of consent, and so is of a particular age.
But they didn't specify that.
I know they don't specify it. And so they are really referring to a young individual because of the dominance and so forth of a older individual, a parent, a father, or mother, or something like that. And that thing, the direct relationship has such a profound effect on the individual. The young person, 7-year-old, 8-year-old, is forced to be willing. You can't go back and say they're willing because they can't give consent to it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I suppose this does not necessarily mean somebody who is 25 years, 26 years old, who engages still in incest with the thing. I don't know if it relates to it, but I think it's mainly going to be persons who are under a particular age being the victim of incest.
You know what's crazy to me is the existing penalties. When you compare intercourse with a girl under 15 and it says imprisonment for 5 years, compare that to causing prostitution of a woman, imprisonment for 14 years. I thought that the seriousness were on par. Well, no, their proposed penalty, they're going to be equally 15 years.
Yes.
It's rather interesting.
The one I find is that this, we're living in an age, and I don't want to talk about the medications and so used in terms of drugging an individual to facilitate intercourse and so forth. This is something that people go out to a party, single women, you're out for the evening with some friends, and basically somebody's going to do that to you. It's not just getting you drunk, it's really putting a tablet or something like that in your drink. And that could lead to all sorts of situations and so.
Do we have that problem here?
Yes.
Yes.
I hear stories, but I never see charges being laid.
Well, that's why that is here now. Ari,
It's not new.
you've heard
But
stories.
that's the thing. It's not
You've
new.
heard
It's not
stories.
new.
People are afraid because of just what came question you had. Was there consent? You understand? People are afraid to bring it. Women are afraid to bring it because they worry. Even some young boys are afraid to bring it because of the social impact and the notoriety that comes with these
I
things.
think it's the persons, the status of some of these people that are doing these things. I've heard stories of people waking up in bed with people and they don't remember anything. I've heard stories of people say that they saw persons putting stuff in people's drinks. And this is a new. Look at Bill Cosby. Yeah. This is a new. So why is it that we never hear of charges being laid? Or is it that these specific charges are not laid?
Well, the important thing is not asking why it wasn't done before. That making people aware that there are some serious charges, increased charges, if it is done.
Okay, so what I want to say is there could be one of four things. Well, we have to go to courts because it's 8:32. So we're going to take a break. Today's Monday. Monday.
They already calling?
I say a private here. I'm not too sure.
Okay, so we'll break right now and then we'll go to courts.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a whole new world out there. Reaching new customers and getting products faster. That's what it's all about. Ocean freight rates are skyrocketing, so don't pay more for slower service. It's time to switch to faster, more reliable air cargo service with SkyMax Cargo. Up to 3 flights weekly to and from the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean islands. Providing excellent import, export, and e-commerce solutions to put you ahead of the competition. For special low rates on small packages and air cargo, contact SkyMax today. 784-456-5400. Local agents SwiftPack, Interprime Cargo. Call 784-456-5400 to book your shipments today.
Did you know? Have you used them? Vertis, Medushi, Lily's. These are among the best bathroom tissue products available any place. Excellent quality, larger sheet sizes, and more sheets per roll. Check them out and compare with others. And guess what? Guess what? These are produced right here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I tell you, Vinci's have class. Yes, real class as always. Let's keep our standards high. Buy Vertis, Medushi, and Lily's. Made by St. Vincent Containers.
Switch to a Ready Cash loan today. Bring your loan to us and get 25% off your interest rate. Get flexible payment terms, fast approval, and hassle-free service. So you can do all the important things you need with ease. All you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, and 2 references. Visit us in-store or apply online at www.shopcourts.com. Courts Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Hi, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Christal.
How are you?
Morning. I'm well, and you?
I'm sprightly as you are. Sounding very energetic this morning.
I just had breakfast, that's why.
Oh, makes sense now. I thought you were excited to call us and talk to your customers this morning. Of course you are.
That's what well, but breakfast trumps everything else.
Oh, honesty is the best policy. What's up with courts this morning? Ready Cash?
Yes. Good morning, everyone. I just want to say, we had this conversation last week, so I'm just here to remind everyone about what we have to offer. So you switch where you can get a loan of up to $1,000. You repay within 3 months. This loan is absolutely interest-free. So it's basically like a pick-me-up. You want a little something to carry you throughout the month, just come on down to us. We got you covered. We also do business loans. So we're catering for everyone. You need a valid proof of identification. Your business must be in operation for at least a year. You present your business certificate, the application for registration. And if you don't have that, the trader's license would work as well. The utility bill for the business, you present at least 3 months sales and purchases.
Mm-hmm.
You provide 6 months bank statement. That's for persons who deposit monies. For others who don't, once you keep a record of it in a book or you keep receipt books, bring them. We would work with you. You state the purpose of the loan, and just like that, you can get a loan of up to $27,000 for your business. It's just the same for the agriculture fund. This is for the farmers, the persons in the fisher industry. The interest is way lower. Same documents required as the business loan. Just come on in. The microfinance officer would deal with you real nice.
Of course.
Or you can contact us at 493-3840 or 493-7623. Just remember, with Coach Ready Cash, you can get your loan interest-free. The payday loan, that is, hassle-free, no down payment needed, and you get your loan same day. With Coach Ready Cash, we're ready when you are.
Of course, ready when you are. Your agricultural loan, the agricultural fund is still ongoing, right?
Yes,
Not sure if I missed that.
It will be going for a while.
Okay, for a while, to infinity and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, lovely. Anything else you want to leave with us this morning?
We can be contacted. We can be reached online. ReadyFinanceCaribbean.com. We have Facebook. Ready Cash St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Instagram is the same thing. Anyhow you want to get us, we're there.
Nice, lovely. So on Saturday we could go online when we don't make it to town.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Your turnaround time for your loans, just in case persons are wondering.
It takes 24 hours for a new customer, but for a returning customer, you can do your loan now. In a few hours, I can call you and tell you come for your cash. And we don't give check, we give cash.
Ooh.
So you don't have to stand up in that long bank line to change your check. No. You do everything you want to do with your money right now.
Yeah, anybody got time for no line, you know?
Exactly.
Lovely. All right, thank you so much. If there's nothing else.
Thank you for having me. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Same to you. Thank you. Always a pleasure.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye. And that was Courts Ready Cash. Of course, every single Monday morning we hear from them. All right. Thank you so much for listening.
See me soar in 2024. Be seen wearing the best and latest styles in eyewear from Courts Optical. Buy one frame and get a second pair for free. Mix and match with your favorite brands. A variety of colors and fresh new styles. Buy one frame and get a second pair absolutely free. Shop today with no cash and pay later. Schedule your free eye exam today at courtsoptical.com. Soar into 2024 with BOGO. Only at Courts Optical. Value you can see. Conditions apply. Offer valid until January 31st, 2024. See in-store for details.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Boy, it's where you getting crashing up. Your brakes real good, boy.
Now brakes alone good enough. My tires good too.
Tires? Where you get them tires, boy?
Out by Caribbean Tire Plus, man. They out in Addersville. Can't miss it. Look for the orange container on them. Plenty parking space and open 7 days a week all thing, man. Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And on Sundays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call them today. Caribbean Tire Plus, 784-432-4786 or email ctiresplus@gmail.com.
Yes, sir.
Our industry relies on all of us to play our part. We take pride in showcasing our beautiful island, our craft, our cuisine, and our warm Vincentian hospitality.
Each of us play a crucial role in showcasing our vibrant tourism industry. We can create spaces where visitors can unwind, connect with nature, and embrace tranquility of our beautiful surroundings.
We need everyone on board to help us create an exceptional experience for our guests.
Join us at our National Tourism Community Consultations as we shape the future of tourism in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
It's everyone's business, yeah. Live it, love it, embrace it.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And we're back with Activated Mornings this morning. Welcome back. The time is now 8:44 here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we're talking the amendments made to laws relating to sexual...
Proposed amendments.
Are they proposed at this point, Doc?
It says proposed penalty.
Yeah, so
Notice is hereby given at the Criminal Code, which seeks to amend Chapter 8 of the Criminal Code. So seeks to is proposed.
Okay, so what is the process?
Okay, they publish these things in the newspaper. It's part of the whole process. And people are able to send in comments on this, whether they disagree, there should be more, there should be less. They look at all those things. And
so now is the time for criticism.
This
really
is time for
Good,
criticism.
because I see the tint one and I need to go into that. But not no, we're talking
So this is public discussion. But they
Mhm.
can't go around and ask everybody what they say. They publish in a newspaper and they're asking lawyers, doctors, nurses, asking people who've been victims before and so forth of prostitution, male, female, whatever the case might be, to make their comments.
Okay, by email, sending an email or calling, right?
Yeah, members of the public are advised that all written comments on the bill may be forwarded to the clerk of the House of Assembly, and they have the contact information. How you gonna do written comments by telephone?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. But
It's physically. So if it's written on it, okay.
You're
feedback.
pointing out something off air that I think we should discuss.
Okay.
No. They're typically you call in and somebody will answer the phone and they will take your
written
They'll write down what I say.
commentary and so forth. It caters for persons who don't have a computer and email and all that kind of thing and so forth.
Right.
I'm gonna do one. This is mine. What is how come, right? Okay. So for the ones that speak about prostitution, we have causing or encouraging prostitution, etc., of a girl under 15. Causing prostitution of a woman. Detention in a brothel. Man living on earnings of prostitution. Is that man specific? I guess we have to go back to the original. At the beginning of these laws, they normally define certain words. So man there is just anybody, right? Could be wrong. So that is specific to living on earnings of prostitution. Then there's woman exercising control over prostitute. But then living on earnings of male prostitute. Why then is it so specific? And there's none that says living on earnings of female prostitute?
Because they've already covered prostitution as a broad term.
So the broad term would include male and female, like a business.
Off of prostitution is a broad term. You see, some of these laws are amendments and so forth. So rather than change it, they add something new. The one with male might be something new. You see, in view of the trends, what's happening in the world and so forth, they may have added that. So they make changes the other one, but they don't mirror it. Man this, women that. Man this, women that.
They say like actor, right? The word actor. You don't necessarily have to say actress. Actor is unisex. So in this case, if you say man living on the earnings of prostitution, it covers both man and woman.
Right. So I get that man living on earnings of prostitution speaks to more of like business. So if you're running, does it? Yeah. That's the interpretation I'm getting from man living on earnings of prostitution. But then it says living on earnings of male prostitute.
Yep.
So it's specific to an individual. So it's like pimping out somebody, right?
You see, there's like four of these that I see that
but
that
if
could.
You have living on earnings, did they say man living on earnings?
Man living on earnings of prostitution. So the act. So it's almost as if they are running the
Right. So number 8 is different. Is not gender bias in any way.
From number 6 to number 13 covers prostitution, brothels, exploitation, anything. So I'm wondering, right?
Go ahead.
I'm wondering, right, why? Because Doc, you're saying that man covers both sexes, but they are specifying causing prostitution of a woman.
Right.
Man living on the earnings of prostitution. Woman exercising control over prostitute. Living on the earnings of a male prostitute. Procurement of a woman. Okay, no, that's different. But yeah. Causing or encouraging prostitution, etc., of a girl under 15.
Yeah. If you notice, number 8, for either man or woman living on earnings of a male prostitute.
Number 9.
Number 9. 133.
133
in bracket
1.
1.
I'm talking about number 35. I'm saying that whether you're male
is 11.
or whether I see. We have them numbered differently.
No, okay. So they numbered all of the. One is the number as they appear in this document, and the other is the number as they appear in the act.
Yes. So which one are you pointing out?
I'm talking about number 12.
Keeping, etc., or brothel.
Living on the earnings of male prostitute. This could be a woman living on the other, or a man living on the earnings of a male prostitute. So there's no gender bias.
Right, there's no gender bias, but the prostitute is male and not male or female.
Yeah.
No, because they have covered, rather than repeating everything they did for female prostitute, because of the different type of things, and in truth, there's a dominance of offenses for female prostitutes. That's the majority of cases. You understand?
So what you're saying is number 7 and number 11 coexist, which is causing prostitution of a woman and living on the earnings of a male prostitute.
No, number 7, you say?
It seems that they're numbered different in the newspapers.
But number 7 talks about if this is causing and encouraging prostitution, etc.
No, 131.
131.
Causing prostitution of a woman.
Yes.
You see, it also covers many different offenses, so that you're able to get not only one person, but the other individuals who may be involved.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Who would say, it ain't me, it is him. Mm-hmm. He's the main person. I was only secondary. You know what I mean? So it's covering the different layers of a ring.
Okay.
So this is like recruitment. If you recruit, this is what's gonna happen to you.
Right.
So if you recruit a man, nothing going to happen.
Right. If you also provide the place where it is being done, that's an offense. If you basically,
I need to call them because I don't understand like why some of them are specific to male or some of them are specific to female. Is it because at the time when these laws are put in the books, the offenses were all for is the only woman had this problem,
Problem.
only man had this problem. So let's put this thing here because it's taking care of that offense and what's
Problem.
not.
So it was, but
it's
it was
probably doing
revised
many-
in 2009.
It's probably doing many things at the same time. It is talking about prostitution in general. That is talking about underage persons, different ages between this age and that age, 13 to 15. It's also talking about male, but it's not just repeating everything for each group in, because one thing already covers something. So they look at the loopholes and so forth, and they plug in those loopholes and they say that is an offense too, and this is an offense too, and that is an offense, and that is an offense.
You know what I like? I like that they are now there's no equality in some of these charges, because incest of a man was 14 years. Incest by a man, was 14 years, and incest by a woman was 7 years. And now they're both proposed to be 20 years each. I prefer to see things as like this because I know that generally society look at it as men are generally more powerful than women, so they can inflict more damage both physically and psychologically. But men are also victims by many different forms of acts without consent. Because if a woman is smaller than a man, she could still try different
and
methods.
what we're talking, when you say incest by a man, we're talking again persons at an age group. You know, I think they're talking about below a particular age.
Yeah, but incest by a woman. Okay, there's a call.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, we lost the call. But incest by a woman could be quite damaging for someone who doesn't know any better. And you see it on television, you see it depicted on television, you know of it happening. But men usually hide behind the, oh yeah, I just nice like that where I could get a woman of a certain age even when I underage. But it is psychologically damaging, and it is rape, and it is intercourse with a minor. And I feel like before we used to look past it. So seeing laws like these being passed, I feel good about them. Or being proposed at least. I feel good about them.
No, I think it's a good thing that and I know the Prime Minister told me during an interview years ago that something was in the works with the sexual offenses, the amendments. So I'm happy to see it come to fruition. I think what needs to accompany this is some sort of social change. Because while it is good that we have all these laws on the book, if people are afraid, if people are being paid off, if people are victimized for being abused, victimized by ignorant people and bullied online and in person, if people are confused, if people still don't know about these laws, then what good are the laws on the books if they're not actually, if people are not fit and ready to actually use them? I am hoping that with all of these changes, that the government or whosoever is responsible, even non-profit organizations who champion the cause of, violence against women and so on, would actually go into schools and have talks, use social media, come on the radio and discuss it, because I think there needs to be a social change accompanying this too. Rape victims, it's very disheartening when people are afraid to go to the police because of what they have seen happen to other rape victims in the past. They don't want to report the crime, even though they know it's an offense, because either one of who the perpetrator is, or of what the police might say, or fear of losing maybe safety, confidentiality. Everybody's knowing that it's them. And it's one thing to go through that in addition to the trauma of the actual experience. We were talking about the drugs as well. Maybe one of the reasons that people don't go to the police or people don't report is because they don't know that law is on the books. 1, 2, they wake up confused, so they don't even know if they had sex with somebody, if somebody raped them or abused them? Do they want to put themselves through that, seeing what other people went through? The average person, no. So we need a culture shift in addition to this.
Well, I think that these things, for some time now, the Ministry of Social Development, I remember for the last 10 years, there's been a lot of activities and so forth. There've been bus tours going to different places to talk about a number of these things, and the sensitization process. A lot of talking to groups. There's been a lot of interest, but probably why this is taking so long. But this also comes out of this whole thing about human trafficking and the ability of online solicitation. There are people who are they're saying that they're 13, 14 years old. They're befriending a 13, 14-year-old girl, and then trying to get that person to meet them. This law doesn't necessarily tie in with there are other laws that deal with it, but all these laws have to be integrated. So this, along with the whole concept of pedophilia and even child pornography and how that is used and things like that, there's a lot of linkages to other things.
Something that I think we overlooked, this one here, 129, permitting girl under 15 to use premises for intercourse. Imprisonment for 14 years if the girl under the age of 13, it's going up to 15, and for 7 years if the girl is of or over the age of 13 and under the age of 15. Right, so that 7 years is going up to 10. So when some of these girls go missing and they investigate, people who allow these girls to stay over, whosoever they run to, is it in some cases a possibility that they could be prosecuted under that too, if sex is involved, sexual intercourse is involved, if that child is under the age of 15? What's your society? That's it for me today, boy. 9 o'clock.
I mean, what is society? You talk about.
I know, it's crazy, man.
Societies. I mean,
Well, I'm speaking about St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is specific to us.
I know this
right?
is. You're right. You're absolutely right. And we could talk about some of the crazy stuff that goes on in certain other countries where people are actually. That's why I brought up this thing about human trafficking and migrants and everything like that are taking place. There's targeting of a lot of places. In fact, in terms of the whole pedophilia, they go to certain countries and so where because of poverty and everything like that, parents are offering these things for little trinkets and little favors.
Parents.
Hey, I have my own comments about that, but it is now 9:01 and it's time for our ECCB currency exchange rates brought to you by Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.